Welcome to a thoughts video on Undead Murder Farce, or the manga is called Undead Girl Murder Farce. I don't know why they changed the name. It could be anything. The 19th century, a world inhabited by vampires, golems, werewolves, and other paranormal creatures. Immortal beauty and disembodied head Rindo, along with a half-human, half-demon demon killer. They call him Oni Killer in the anime, Tsugaru, and her loyal maid Shizuku travels through Europe as supernatural detective, decayed user, solving supernatural mysteries while she searches for her lost body. That actually perfectly sums up the anime, but it makes it more bland in how they explain it. So, let's first I'll just talk about the anime. It's 13 episodes, 23 minutes long each. It's aired July 6, 2023 to September 28, 2023. It's a summer 2023 anime by Lapin the studio. Fuji TV, Crunchyroll produces, of course. It's based off a novel. The novel is also called Undead Girl Murder Farce. Mystery, fantasy, supernatural. So, it's also by original story, Yugo Aosaki, and the director is Shunichi Amata. I'm not sure how to pronounce this stuff. That's why I give you the name on screen so you can see it. So, we'll get to the story. Mainly just probably introduce the main characters. So, there's Aya Rindo, the headless immortal being, Tsugaru, the Oni Slayer, half human, half Oni, and then the maid. Very simple, the maid. That's all. We assume she's human. They don't say she's anything but human. So, those are the main three characters, and that's who's going to be a constant throughout the whole show. First episode is just a introduction, because the Rindo and the maid has been together for a long time now. That's actually her maid before her body was stolen. They actually come to Suguru because he's an Oni Slayer, and they have a special property to nullify healing factors if they kill something, which is Rindo. She came to actually get killed by him because she has no body. Instead, they make a deal since he's about to die because the Oni side's killing him because he's been experimented on. That's how he became this way. If she gives him cells that make him like if they kiss, like any of her immortal cells make his life last longer, and he promised to help her get her body back. So that's the beginning episode. Really fantastic dialogue throughout the whole show. The plot's simple enough yet intriguing enough to keep you interested, and the dialogue between all characters. Not every episode has action, but there are action every arc, which is three, which I will talk about individually. And the dialogue is the best part of the show. Every character, every line is something interesting to listen to. There's never a moment in the show that it's literally boring. It's all good. Every moment, every arc, everything was good. This is the visual they released for pre-release. You can also see the main trio in the center, and then you can see just the groups that you'll be introduced to in the show. Arc 1. After episode 1, you get right into arc 1, which is the episode 2 to episode 4. Yeah, I want to say it's episode 4. So it's called the vampire arc. It's a mystery thing. So every arc's a mystery, basically. Well, two of them are. One is, but not that much of a mystery. The first arc is very much solving who's killed the vampire in the center. Fantastic mystery. I'm not gonna give away who it does because it's part of the show. It's not gonna mean anything to you who's the actual villain, unless you've seen the show. I will say I don't see it coming, I didn't know who it would be. I actually guessed fully wrong who it would be if you've been keeping up with the channel, because I talked about the show all season, and I truly did not realize who it was until it was revealed. Um, they put out hints about who it could be. Every episode she gives a little here and gives a there. It lets you follow along, be surprised. Very great arc. Good character introductions. It immerses you in this world because it's such a simple story enough, but it lets you be immersed with like the vampires and like the supernatural around, while also being part of the actual world and community. Because it's an alternate world of like where monsters live beside humans. Some seclude themselves, some don't. This vampire family was trying to live with the humans, so they try to make it out for like certain people to be bad guys. Of course, it's gonna one's gonna be a member of the family they suspect. One's gonna be there's a few people in the family that they suspect. There gonna be some vampire hunters. Some it's just gonna be like the butler, the maid. Very much things you don't see coming to me. That's the first arc, which is the vampire arc, of course. Next arc, it's not the mystery arc. This one is introduced in begins episode 5. Yeah, episode 5 is when the second arc begins, which is all about. This isn't much of a mystery as it is a. I guess it is still a mystery as much as it's like. First episode is revealed. This dude has said he's going to break into this place and steal this very, very valuable diamond. The mystery is how is he going to do it and how is he going to get away with it? Or how is he going to get caught? That's the mystery. So it's not like a murder mystery or something like that. He's already said what he's going to do, and how is he going to do it is the mystery here. Which this arc turns out to be more than just the mystery itself. We get introduced to bad guys, of course, which you can see at the bottom here. And we get introduced to the good guys and the thief and his partner up here. Of course, we always have this one reporter lady from arc 1 and 2. So everyone wants the hand on the diamond. Of course, everybody. The villains, this guy, everybody. They want it because it's powerful or because it's valuable. This is Sherlock and Watson. They're hired just like our main trio to protect the diamond, make sure it's not stolen. Then the bad guys want it because it reveals something secret to do with the next arc. It's very good. This arc ends with a big combat between multiple people. The maid versus a vampire lady. Only Slayer versus someone like him, but mixed with more stable cells, better output. He's made by the same dude, Moriarty. Of course, there's other ones like Victor, which is like a Frankenstein put together puppet, and there's also this magician, charlatan, whatever you want to call them. Very interesting characters. Every villain is unique in their own way. They're not really just a copy of something I've seen before. The vampire's not just out to suck your blood. She's very seductive in everything she does. Victor's not stupid. He's not an idiot. He's probably the most well-mannered and the calm one in the whole villains thing. He can probably have a conversation with all of the, even if he's not on their side. Moriarty is supposed to be dead, and he's extremely older than Sherlock. Even though I assumed it would be the same age as Sherlock. He's much older in appearance. The magician is actually just a trickster, of course. They make it all very like he's not even magical. He's just a really good human, at least what they make it out to be. In the Phantom of the Opera, you see up here, that's Lupin the Third. It's very. They use names you wouldn't names you've heard of if you've followed like works of literature. I'm sure, of course, it's Sherlock and Moriarty. You know, those big detective stories based off of. So it fills the world out more using those names. It kind of locks it down, but they put a twist on all the characters. The only ones I'd say is like cookie cutter is like Sherlock and Watson. Everyone else, Lupin the Third, Moriarty, very much not what you expect them to be. And then the diamond leads into the third arc, which is the werewolf village arc. The diamond is a secret is a the way of how to get to a werewolf village. The only one in existence apparently. How in Europe at least. In the diamond, if you hold it up to this the light at dawn, it reveals the location of the werewolves. And the reason Moriarty wants to get it is to combine his Oni Slayer with more werewolves DNA to make him better, because that's his old goal, is to make the perfect being monster, to make him strong, do whatever. Not really certain on what his goal was, just that's what he wants to do right now. But we can see this is very much a mystery, because the village that's a normal human village is up a hill from a werewolf village, and both of them having murders going on for different things. This one starts at episode, I want to say 9, because the evil group's called the Banquet. Episode 9 to 13 is the last arc. They do a good job of introducing the village, and then you get introduced to the other village, which you're supposed to be keep only werewolves are allowed in the werewolf village. The human village actually gets Rindo to like look into the murder, and in exchange for her finding out the culprit, the old man, the leader of the village, will tell them how to find the werewolf village. So it's interesting enough. That's like the first episode and a half of that arc. So we get introduced to the mystery, of course, in the werewolf village. The maid gets falls or gets knocked over for story reasons into the waterfall, which is right down from the werewolf village. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you the mystery of who killed the girls. It's like 3 girls from each village. But this one, sadly, is a little bit more predictable. But they put a twist on the ending and a way of... What is it? The main villain is also not just, or the main culprit of the arc. The main villain's Moriarty, but he's not even in. Sorry, his little goons are, but not really much of a fight goes on. They just come to get the village, or look at the village and get something. But the main perpetrator of the murders is, of course, they're interconnected. That's the whole arc. But it's not who you think it is, and there's a lot more twists and turns in this mystery. So I assumed who it was in the werewolf arc. The truth is, it's not who I was, but there's more information if you were to pay attention to the whole arc, where you'd figure out that's who it actually is. So those are the twists and turns. So don't go into the mystery or go into the show being like, this is going to be very predictable, which is not. And there's action in every arc. Very much in this one towards the ending. There's no one's morally right here. The werewolf village bans all non-werewolves from it, and they force like a breeding thing to create the ultimate werewolf, which they're piece of shits for that. And then like they hold all the, like, these 3 girls are all trapped there in the there to become the optimal, I hate to say it that way, breeding partner for the ultimate werewolf. And that's why they're on the picture, because they're actually very important to the story down in the werewolf village. And then you can see the main doctor up here. That whole village has killed werewolves that appear in that village. They're very terrible, and they revealed at the beginning of the arc, you get introduced to this woman and her child. They get just killed because that village hates werewolves. They hate all monsters. They hate mainly werewolves, but they didn't trust our main characters because of whatever reasons. But they only help her because they're trying to look into who killed their girls from that village. It's very... No one's morally right, and it makes every character more interesting because of it. very good dialogue between everybody and the way all the arcs work out. By far, this show is the best mystery of this year for me, and it's not even close. I loved every episode and every single story, individual story in the show. Wrapped up fantastic. It introduced me in a great, it pulled me into the arc in a great way. It wrapped up the arc, leading to the next thing. It's not overly complicated. It's very simplistic, and it's like arc pattern. Like, we go here because of this. We end up here because they said to go here because this is the villain. We go here because the diamond points is there. It's very simple of how you get there, but it's easy to follow along with, while the mystery is complex enough where it's not predictable. All the characters are interesting. Even the episodes there's not a fight in, you're not sitting there bored. You're not sitting there, oh, is something going to happen? Does this matter? Every dialogue matters. Every interaction matters. It gives you information throughout the show of what to look out for, what to see. Like, we even have cuts to Lady Rindo to be on the notice for, like, oh, that means something. That means something. It kind of helps you figure it out. There are some twists and turns to the point, like, we shouldn't have been able to figure that out. But that's probably what makes it a little bit more interesting. It's not perfect, nowhere close to perfect, but it's something I really enjoyed. The characters are fantastic in the show. The side characters have a great, of each arc are really good. It's sad that none of them carry over. Like, you don't immediately, the villains aren't people you see more than in their own arc. So it's kind of sad to know that the characters you get attached to in a previous arc, you aren't going to see them again. At least not in this season. I don't know if they're going to have a second season, or if the story continues in a different way in a manga or a novel. But that's the big drawback. The arc kind of wraps itself up and there's not much to carry over. Other than that, I do think it's worth your time, especially if you like mysteries. The supernatural twist on mysteries is really nice. It's keeps it from being a carbon copy of Sherlock, while also referencing it a lot. For that, I give it a 8 out of 10. It is something I really enjoy, but it has its flaws, and it might not be for everybody. But I at least would recommend give it 2 episodes. If it makes you interested in the first 2 episodes, I think you'll like it. Episode 1 is very much an introduction, while episode 2 is a introduction to the next arc, which is okay. If you watch the first 4, you have the whole arc wrapped up. And if you haven't been intrigued by then, I don't think it's the show for you. Let that be said, there are other parts of the... I think my favorite part of the show is the werewolf village, which is the last arc. Because there's much more... There's more episodes to that arc, so it lets it breathe more. The first arc is very much 3 episodes. Here's the introduction. Here's the information. 3rd episode's a wrap-up. If you let it breathe a little bit more, like the last one, you get more connected, you get more interested. It's a little quick pace, while also feeling slow at times, but to each their own. Other than that, I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening, and leave a comment if you enjoyed. Subscribe. I appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot. And other than that, have a good day.